He was born into a quiet town called Braunau am Inn, nestled along the Austrian-German border, on the morning of April 20, 1889. His name was Adolf Hitler, a name that would one day echo with terror across continents. His father, Alois Hitler, was a strict, aging customs officer with a heavy hand and an iron will. His mother, Clara, was warm, gentle, and the emotional center of his world. The conflicting shadows of both parents would leave their mark on the boy who would one day rule nations through fire and fear. Education, from first class to final step. Adolf began school in Fischlham, where he showed flashes of intelligence and confidence. But as he progressed to the real Schule in Linz, his enthusiasm for academic study waned. He bristled under authority, refused to follow conventional paths, and performed poorly especially in subjects that did not interest him. From early adolescence, he was consumed by a passion for art and architecture. He dreamed of becoming a great painter. Twice, he applied to the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna and twice, he was rejected. His sketches of buildings were praised, but his human figures were considered clumsy and lifeless. These failures devastated him. After the death of his mother in 1907, he lingered in Vienna, slipping into poverty. He sold postcards, painted street scenes, and lived in shelters. But in this period of obscurity, he read voraciously racist literature, German nationalist pamphlets, anti-Jewish conspiracies, and myths of Aryan superiority. Though lacking formal higher education, he became a self-taught ideologue armed not with academic degrees but with dangerous convictions. How he became a dictator. When the guns of World War I thundered across Europe in 1914, Hitler volunteered for the German army. Though born Austrian, he considered himself a German in spirit. The war gave him meaning. In the muddy trenches of France and Belgium, he served as a dispatch runner, braving fire to carry messages. He was wounded, temporarily blinded by gas, and decorated for bravery. But when Germany surrendered in 1918, Hitler was shattered. He believed that Germany had not been beaten in the field, but betrayed by internal enemies, communists, Jews, and weak politicians. This belief, widely known as the stab in the back myth, became the poison that fueled his politics. After the war, Hitler remained in the army, where he was assigned to spy on leftist groups. He infiltrated the German Workers' Party, a small nationalist group, and quickly found his calling as a speaker. Within a year, he was not just a member but its uncontested leader. He renamed it the National Socialist German Workers' Party Nazi Party and built its identity on fiery speeches, fanatical nationalism, racial hatred, and promises of rebirth. In 1923, he attempted a coup in Munich, the beer hall putsch, but it failed. He was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in prison. He served only 9 months. During that time, he dictated Mein Kampf, outlining his vision for a racially pure German state, blaming Jews for every evil, and demanding Germany's territorial expansion. Released from prison, Hitler worked tirelessly to rebuild the Nazi movement. The Great Depression struck in 1929, plunging Germany into misery. The Nazi message, discipline, pride, revenge, found new heirs. By 1932, the Nazis had become the largest party in the German Reichstag. Still, Hitler did not seize power by force. Instead, he was invited into it. On January 30, 1933, under pressure from conservative elites who believed they could control him, President Paul von Hindenburg appointed Hitler Chancellor of Germany. Within weeks, Hitler suspended civil liberties, arrested opponents, and passed the Enabling Act, which gave him absolute power. After the death of Hindenburg in 1934, Hitler merged the offices of Chancellor and President and declared himself Führer leader of Germany. From an unemployed artist to a dictator commanding one of the most powerful nations on earth, Hitler's rise was fueled by anger, fear, propaganda, and blood. After acquiring dictatorship, rule over army and country. Once in power, Hitler turned Germany into a totalitarian machine. The state infiltrated every corner of life. Schools, newspapers, churches, families all were reshaped under Nazi ideology. Dissent was crushed by the Gestapo, and fear ruled the streets. He rebuilt the German military, violating the Treaty of Versailles. He created the Hitler Youth, ensuring loyalty from the next generation. He ordered massive public works programs, including the Autobahn, and boosted employment though largely through arms production. In 1939, Hitler launched a lightning invasion of Poland, triggering World War II. His armies stormed across Europe, conquering with ruthless speed. With each conquest came terror, deportations, massacres. He directly oversaw military and political decisions, often overriding his generals. As the war dragged on, his leadership became increasingly erratic, paranoid, and delusional, yet his grip remained firm until the very end. List of bad deeds. Instigated World War II, leading to the deaths of over 70 million people. Orchestrated the Holocaust, murdering 6 million Jews, along with Roma, disabled persons, political prisoners, and others. Used concentration and death camps including Auschwitz, Treblinka, and Dachau for industrial-scale killing. Launched the Action T4 program, secretly euthanizing over 200,000 mentally and physically disabled individuals. Banned political opposition, shut down free speech, and used propaganda to manipulate an entire nation. Ordered scorched earth tactics, destroying German infrastructure as defeat became certain. Conscript child soldiers in the final weeks of the war. Looted European art, treasure, and property, erasing culture and identity from occupied territories. Oversaw forced labor of millions, including prisoners of war and civilians. List of good deeds if any. While deeply controversial and interwoven with Nazi propaganda, a few state-driven projects under Hitler's regime are sometimes noted. Constructed the Autobahn, Germany's national highway network. Launched the Volkswagen project, intending to provide an affordable car to every German family. Lowered unemployment temporarily, though largely by suppressing labor rights, removing women from the workforce, and ramping up arms production. These achievements served militaristic and ideological purposes and were tools to strengthen dictatorship, not acts of benevolent governance. Death date and cause. April 30, 1945, Adolf Hitler died by suicide in his underground bunker in Berlin. With Soviet forces storming the city, he shot himself in the head while also biting into a cyanide capsule. His longtime companion, Eva Braun, whom he had married a day earlier, took cyanide and died beside him. Where buried? Following his suicide, Hitler's aides burned his body in the garden of the Reich Chancellery as per his instructions. Soviet troops later discovered the charred remains. The Soviets buried and reburied the fragments in secrecy. In 1970, the remains were reportedly cremated and scattered by the KGB to prevent any grave from becoming a shrine.